My beloved child, God says. Don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. There is a reason your heart has felt so restless lately. There is a reason you keep thinking about someone, even when you try not to. Listen carefully, because what you are about to hear may explain everything. Your soulmate is standing at one of the biggest crossroads of their life. They are only one decision away from losing you forever, and deep inside they know it. They have reached a moment where they can no longer keep running from what their heart has been whispering. Every excuse they created, every fear they hid behind, every delay they believed would protect them has brought them to this exact moment. Heaven has been watching every tear you cried in silence. Every night you wondered if they had forgotten you. Every prayer you whispered when nobody else understood your pain has been collected before me. My child, I have not ignored your cries. I have seen everything. Your soulmate has been pretending to be strong, but behind closed doors they are breaking. They replay your conversations in their mind. They remember the kindness you showed them. They remember the love they never fully appreciated. They thought time would erase your presence from their heart, but instead, time has only made your absence louder. They are discovering that life without you feels empty in ways they never imagined. Something happened recently that shook them deeply. It may have looked ordinary to everyone else, but spiritually it was a wake-up call. I allowed them to see what their future could become if they continue ignoring the person I placed in their path. Fear entered their heart, not because I desire fear, but because sometimes people only awaken when they realize what they are about to lose. They now understand that another delay could cost them everything. They are one decision away from letting fear destroy a love that was meant to heal them. Yet another decision could lead them back toward you. This is why heaven is speaking today. I do not want you to lose hope. I do not want bitterness to replace the love I planted inside your heart. Continue trusting me even when you cannot see what I am doing. Behind the scenes, I am moving pieces you cannot see. Conversations are happening that you know nothing about. Hearts are being softened. Pride is being challenged. Walls are beginning to crack. The silence you have experienced was never proof that I abandoned you. It was preparation. While you were waiting, I was working. While you were crying, I was changing things that human eyes could never notice. Your soulmate is carrying regret heavier than they have ever admitted. They wonder if they waited too long. They wonder if you have already given up. They are asking themselves questions they avoided for months. They are beginning to realize that true love cannot simply be replaced. They are learning that people can search everywhere for peace, but peace only comes when they stop running from the truth. My child, Do not let temporary silence convince you that your story is over. Sometimes the greatest miracles happen just before people are ready to walk away. Hold on to my hand instead of your own understanding. I know the ending even when you only see the middle of the story. I have not forgotten my promises over your life. I know exactly how much pain you have carried. I know every disappointment, every rejection, every lonely moment. None of it has been wasted. I will use even your heartbreak to prepare you for something greater than you imagined. Your soulmate is standing before a decision that will change both of your lives forever. Pray for wisdom instead of revenge. Pray for healing instead of anger. Pray that my will becomes stronger than human fear. Because when I open a door, no person can permanently close it. And when I restore what was broken according to my perfect plan, no force of darkness can stop what I have blessed. So remain faithful a little longer. Keep your heart open to my voice. What seems impossible today can become tomorrow's testimony. The decision your soulmate is about to make will reveal what has truly been living inside their heart all along. And very soon, the truth will no longer be able to hide. My beloved child, God says, before you continue listening, do not allow doubt to steal this moment. What I am revealing is not meant to create fear but to awaken hope. Your soulmate has reached a place where every path they consider eventually leads back to the thought of you. They try to convince themselves that walking away would make life easier, yet every new day has only increased the emptiness inside them. They smile in front of others, but when they are alone, their heart begins asking questions they can no longer silence. They wonder why your memory still follows them. They wonder why your name appears in unexpected moments. They wonder why every attempt to move on leaves them feeling more lost than before. My child, I have allowed these moments because I am exposing the truth hidden beneath their fears. They are beginning to recognize that what they felt for you was never ordinary. It was a connection that carried purpose, a connection that heaven permitted for a reason. But fear convinced them to delay. Pride whispered that there would always be another chance. Distractions told them they had unlimited time. Now those lies are collapsing one by one. They can feel the weight of every missed opportunity. They remember the messages they never sent, the conversations they avoided, the words they wished they had spoken before silence became too heavy. There have been nights when they stared into the darkness asking themselves if they have already lost you forever. That question has become louder than anything else in their life. Every day they postpone their decision. Peace slips further away. They are discovering that success cannot replace love, achievements cannot replace peace, and pretending cannot erase what the heart already knows. I have been allowing circumstances around them to reveal what truly matters. Relationships that distracted them are losing their influence. People they depended on are no longer providing the answers they expected. The things they once believed would satisfy them now leave them feeling empty. Because I am gently removing every false foundation until they can clearly see what they have been running from. My child, while this has been happening in their life, I have also been strengthening you. You may not realize how much you have grown. The tears that once weakened you have become prayers filled with faith. The disappointments that once broke your confidence have taught you to trust me instead of temporary circumstances. I have been preparing both hearts differently because restoration requires transformation before reunion. If I had brought everything together too soon, old wounds would have reopened. But now I am healing places inside both of you that no one else can see. Do not mistake the waiting season for rejection. Waiting has been part of your preparation. Even now your soulmate feels an urgency they cannot explain. Something inside them keeps saying, "Don't wait any longer. Speak before it's too late. Choose love before regret becomes permanent." That voice has grown stronger because heaven is reminding them that opportunities are precious. My child, if they choose courage instead of fear, they will begin walking toward the future I have been preparing. If they continue allowing fear to lead them, they will experience the painful consequences of ignoring my direction. That is why they are standing at such an important moment. Continue praying, continue trusting, and continue guarding your heart. You do not need to force what I am already arranging. You do not need to chase what I have called to come at the right time. Remain faithful because I am still writing this story. The next chapter will reveal truths that neither you nor your soulmate expected, and when those hidden truths come into the light, both of your lives will never be the same again. My beloved child, God says, don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, there is something your soulmate has not told anyone. Behind every smile they have shown the world, there has been a silent battle taking place inside their heart. They keep asking themselves whether they still have time to make things right. They know they are standing only one decision away from changing everything. They also know that if they choose fear one more time, they could lose the greatest blessing I placed before them. Listen carefully, because heaven wants you to understand what is happening even when your natural eyes cannot see it. Your soulmate has recently begun noticing signs that remind them of you. They hear words that sound like your conversations. They pass places that awaken memories they thought were buried forever. Even ordinary moments suddenly bring your face into their mind. They try to ignore these reminders, but they return again and again because I am gently calling their attention back to what truly matters. The peace they have been searching for cannot be found by running away from what I have written for their life. They are beginning to understand that real love cannot be replaced by temporary comfort. They thought distance would erase their feelings, but instead it has revealed how deeply those feelings were rooted. Every passing day has made the silence heavier. Every missed opportunity has become another weight upon their heart. My child, do not think I have forgotten your prayers. I have heard every word you whispered when no one else was listening. I know the nights you cried yourself to sleep. I know the moments you wondered if you should finally let go. I know how difficult it has been to keep believing when nothing seemed to change. But while you were waiting, I was preparing both of your hearts. Some lessons can only be learned through time. Some walls can only fall after repeated encounters with truth. Your soulmate is now facing those truths. Pride is no longer giving them peace. Fear is no longer protecting them. Excuses are losing their power. They are beginning to realize that the only thing standing between them and the future they truly desire is one decision. Heaven will never force that decision, but heaven has made the path clear. My child, continue to protect your heart from bitterness. Do not allow disappointment to become your identity. I am teaching you patience because patience produces strength that cannot be shaken by temporary circumstances. The story is not over simply because the chapter has been painful. Often the greatest restoration begins when people believe all hope has disappeared. Your soulmate is closer to making an important choice than they have ever been before. They may still appear silent on the outside, but inside they are wrestling with questions that refuse to leave them alone. They are asking themselves whether they are willing to risk everything by staying silent, or whether they will finally step forward with honesty. That battle is becoming impossible for them to ignore. My child, trust me with what you cannot control. I am already working in places your hands could never reach. I know the perfect timing for every conversation, every breakthrough, and every answered prayer. Stay faithful a little longer, because what is hidden today will soon be revealed, and the decision your soulmate is preparing to make will open the door to a chapter neither of you expected. My beloved child, God says, don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, there is a conversation that your soulmate keeps having inside their own mind, and no one around them knows it exists. Every day they tell themselves they should move on, yet every night their heart leads them back to you. They are tired of pretending. They are unaffected. They are tired of acting as though your absence has changed nothing. The truth is that your absence has become one of the loudest voices in their life. They have reached a point where they cannot escape what their own heart is revealing. I have been allowing them to see the difference between temporary happiness and lasting peace. They chased distractions, but the emptiness remained. They surrounded themselves with noise, yet silence continued to expose the truth. They searched for answers in many places, but every path eventually reminded them of the love they left unfinished. My child, I know you have wondered why everything has taken so long. I know you have questioned whether your prayers were still being heard. Let me assure you today that not a single prayer has been forgotten. Every tear you cried became a seed planted before heaven, and every moment you chose faith instead of giving up became part of the miracle I have been preparing. Even when you felt abandoned, I was closer than you realized. Even when nothing seemed to change, I was moving hearts in ways no human eyes could see. Your soulmate is beginning to understand that the greatest battles are not fought with other people but within the heart itself. Pride is fighting against love. Fear is fighting against faith. Regret is fighting against hope. But my voice continues calling them toward truth. They are starting to recognize that waiting any longer could cost them the opportunity they have secretly been praying for. They fear waking up one day only to discover that the door they refuse to walk through has finally closed. That realization has shaken them deeply. My child, do not allow impatience to steal the peace I have been building inside you. What I have prepared for you will not be destroyed by human delay. If something belongs in your life according to my perfect will, I know exactly how to bring it to you at the right moment. Continue becoming the person I created you to be instead of allowing uncertainty to define your future. While you are growing stronger, your soulmate is being confronted by memories they can no longer ignore. They remember your kindness when others misunderstood them. They remember the peace they felt in your presence. They remember promises they never fulfilled, and words they wish they could take back. Regret has become their teacher, and wisdom is beginning to replace confusion. Very soon they will realize that another day of silence only makes the burden heavier. The decision standing before them cannot be postponed forever. My child, trust me because I see what tomorrow holds even when today feels uncertain. I know the exact moment when hearts will soften, when courage will overcome fear, and when truth will finally be spoken. Stay faithful a little longer. Keep your heart free from bitterness and your spirit anchored in hope. The chapter you are living now is not the ending of your story. It is the preparation for a turning point that will reveal what has been hidden for far longer than either of you expected, and when that moment arrives, you will understand why I asked you to keep believing when everything around you seemed silent. My beloved child, God says, don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, the moment your soulmate has been trying to avoid is drawing closer with every passing day. They can no longer silence the voice inside them that keeps asking, what if I lose this person forever? That question follows them from morning until night. It interrupts their thoughts when they are working. It returns when they try to sleep. Even in moments when they appear calm, their heart is restless because they know they are standing before a choice that could shape the rest of their life. They once believed they had unlimited time, but now they are beginning to understand that some opportunities are precious because they do not wait forever. I have allowed this realization to grow inside them, not to fill them with fear, but to lead them toward truth. They are finally seeing the difference between protecting their pride and protecting what truly matters. For so long they believed silence was the safest choice. Now silence has become the very thing stealing their peace. They remember moments when they could have spoken but remained quiet. They remember times when they could have reached out but convinced themselves to wait another day. Those memories now return with unexpected strength. My child, while they are facing these emotions, I have been strengthening you in ways you cannot yet fully understand. You are not the same person you were when this journey began. Your faith has grown through waiting. Your wisdom has grown through disappointment. Your heart has learned to depend on me instead of human certainty. Every difficult season has been shaping you for what comes next. Never believe your waiting has been wasted, because I never waste the pain of those who trust me. Even when you could not see my hand, I was preparing blessings that required perfect timing. Your soulmate has also begun noticing changes within themselves. The things that once distracted them no longer satisfy them. The voices that encouraged them to walk away no longer sound convincing. Deep inside, they know they must stop running from the truth. They know they cannot continue pretending that your place in their heart has disappeared. Every attempt to replace what was real has only reminded them how rare genuine love truly is. My child, continue guarding your heart against bitterness. Do not allow disappointment to convince you that my promises have failed. The enemy wants you to believe that delay means denial, but my timing is never late. I know the exact second when every piece of this story must come together. I know when healing will be complete. I know when courage will become stronger than fear. I know when truth will finally overcome silence. Your soulmate is closer than ever to making the decision they have avoided for so long. They understand that another delay could become a permanent loss, and that realization has awakened something inside them that cannot easily be ignored. Very soon they will have to choose between remaining imprisoned by fear or stepping forward in faith. My child, whatever happens, remember this: your worth has never depended on another person's decision. Your value comes from me alone. I loved you before anyone else knew your name. And my plans for your life cannot be destroyed by human weakness. Continue walking with confidence, continue praying with expectation, and continue trusting my voice above every doubt. The chapter that follows will reveal why I asked you to remain faithful through every unanswered question, because what is about to unfold will expose hidden truths, unexpected Courage, and a turning point that neither you nor your soulmate will ever forget. My beloved child, God says, don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, the decision your soulmate is about to make will not come from pressure, but from the truth that has been growing inside them for a long time. They have reached a place where pretending no longer works. They have tried to silence their emotions, bury their memories, and convince themselves that life could continue without you, but every attempt has only led them back to the same realization. Your presence has left a mark on their heart that time has not erased. Every day they delayed. They believed tomorrow would be easier, but tomorrow only carried more questions, more regret, and more longing than the day before. I have been allowing them to walk through this season, because some lessons can only be learned when the heart becomes quiet enough to hear my voice. The distractions that once filled their life are beginning to lose their power. The people whose opinions once controlled their decisions no longer bring them peace. They are discovering that no amount of success, comfort, or approval can replace the peace that comes from walking in my will. My child, do not become discouraged because you cannot see what I am doing. The greatest works I perform often begin in places hidden from human eyes. Just as a seed grows beneath the ground before anyone sees the first green leaf, I have been working beneath the surface of both your lives. What appears to be silence is often the beginning of transformation. While you have been waiting, I have been removing fear from your heart and exposing fear within theirs. I have been teaching you patience while teaching them courage. Soon those two lessons will meet at the perfect moment. Your soulmate has started imagining what life would be like if they never spoke the words they have been holding back. That thought fills them with a sorrow they cannot explain. They picture years passing by, wondering what could have happened if they had simply trusted love instead of fear. They realize that some opportunities never return once they are ignored. This understanding has become impossible for them to escape. Even when they laugh with others, a quiet voice inside keeps reminding them that something important remains unfinished. My child, I want you to remember that your future has never depended on human timing alone. It has always rested in my hands. No delay can cancel what I have ordained, and no obstacle is greater than my power. Continue to seek me instead of chasing answers. Continue to walk in peace instead of anxiety. The more you trust me, the stronger your heart will become. I know you have grown tired of waiting. I know there were moments when you almost stopped believing that anything could change. Yet every time you chose faith over despair, heaven celebrated your obedience. Your faith has not gone unnoticed. Your prayers have not disappeared into silence. I have stored every one of them, and I will answer them according to my perfect wisdom. Your soulmate is now approaching the Moment where excuses will no longer satisfy them. They will have to decide whether to remain trapped by the fear of rejection or to step into the freedom that comes from honesty. Whatever choice they make will reveal the true condition of their heart. My child, keep your eyes on me. Because the story is not ending here. The next chapter will uncover a truth that has been hidden until the appointed time, and when it is finally revealed, you will understand why every delay, every tear, and every unanswered question became part of the testimony I was preparing for your life. My beloved child, God says. Don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, this is the moment I have been preparing you for. For so long, you believed nothing was changing, because all you could see was silence. But silence has never meant my absence. It has often been the place where I do my greatest work. While you were waiting with tears in your eyes, I was rewriting parts of the story that neither you nor your soulmate could change on your own. I was healing wounds that words could never reach. I was breaking chains of fear that had held both of your hearts captive. I was opening doors that no human hand could unlock. Now the season is beginning to shift. Your soulmate can no longer ignore the truth that has been growing inside them. The battle between fear and love has reached its final stage. They understand that every day they remain silent, the weight upon their heart becomes heavier. They have discovered that peace cannot be found by running away from what I have placed before them. They remember the kindness you showed when they least deserved it. They remember your patience, your prayers, your gentle spirit, and the moments when you stood beside them without asking for anything in return. Those memories have become impossible to erase because love, rooted in truth, leaves an imprint that time cannot remove. My child, never think your faith was wasted. Every prayer you whispered, every tear that fell, every moment you chose forgiveness over bitterness has been seen by me. I have counted every sacrifice, and I will not allow your trust in me to return empty. Whether people recognized your pain or not, heaven never overlooked it. I have always been with you, carrying you through nights when you believed you had no strength left. Now I ask you for one final thing: continue trusting me. Do not let fear speak louder than my promises. Do not let impatience steal the peace I have planted within your heart. If this relationship is part of my perfect plan, nothing can stop what I have ordained. If I have prepared another path that is greater than what you imagined, I will guide you there with perfect love and perfect wisdom. Your future is secure because it rests in my hands, not in human uncertainty. Very soon, hidden truths will come into the light. Conversations that seemed impossible will begin. Hearts that once resisted change will soften. What has remained unspoken for so long will no longer be able to stay hidden forever. When that moment comes, Remember that it was never luck or coincidence. It was my timing unfolding exactly as I planned. So walk forward with confidence. Release every burden you have been carrying into my hands. Refuse to let anxiety rule your heart. Keep praying, keep believing, and keep your eyes fixed on me instead of your circumstances. I am your shepherd, your protector, and your redeemer. I know the plans I have for you, plans to give you hope, peace, and a future filled with my goodness. Trust me one more day. Believe me one more time. The chapter ahead will reveal that I was working all along, even when you could not see my hand. If this message touched your heart, type Amen in the comments as a declaration of faith. Share this message with someone who needs God's encouragement today, and don't forget to subscribe for more daily messages of hope, healing, and God's Word. May the Lord surround you with His peace. Strengthen your faith, guide every step you take, and fill your life with His endless love. My beloved child, God says, don't scroll. If this message found you today, it wasn't an accident. Stay until the end because God has something He wants you to hear. My child, as this message comes to its end, I want you to hold on to one truth above everything else: your story is not being written by fear, by delay, or by disappointment. It is being written by my hands. What you have called waiting, I have called preparation. What you have called silence, I have called transformation. Every moment that seemed empty was filled with my unseen work. I never stopped moving. I never stopped listening. I never stopped loving you. Your soulmate has now reached the place where they can no longer deny what I have placed within their heart. The choice before them has become clear. They know that continuing to hide behind fear will only deepen their regret. They understand that real love requires courage, honesty, and faith. Whether they step forward today or tomorrow, they will never again be able to pretend that your connection meant nothing. I have allowed truth to become stronger than every excuse they once believed. My child, I also want you to understand something that is even more important than this relationship. Your peace must never depend on another person's actions. Your joy must never depend on another person's decision. Your identity has always been found in me. Before anyone loved you, I loved you. Before anyone called your name, I knew your name. Before your first prayer, I already had a purpose prepared for your life. Never forget that you are my beloved child, and nothing can separate you from my love. If this relationship is according to my perfect will, I will open every door that needs to be opened. No misunderstanding will be too great. No distance will be too far. No obstacle will be stronger than my power. But if I have prepared a different path that will bring you greater peace, greater joy, and greater purpose, trust that my plan will always be better than anything you could imagine for yourself. I do not ask you to understand everything. I ask you to trust the one who sees everything. Release your worries into my hands today. Let go of every fear that has kept you awake at night. Stop carrying burdens that were never yours to carry. I am fighting battles you cannot see. I am arranging moments you cannot predict. I am opening doors at the exact time they should open. There is nothing impossible for me. The tears you cried in secret have not been forgotten. The prayers you whispered through brokenness have not been ignored. The hope you refused to surrender has not been wasted. In the days ahead, you will begin to understand why I asked you to remain faithful even when the answers seem delayed. One day you will look back and realize that every difficult season was preparing you for a testimony that would strengthen not only your own faith but also the faith of others. So walk forward with confidence. Choose peace over panic. Choose faith over fear. Choose my promises over your doubts. Keep your eyes on me, and I will direct your steps. I will never leave you. I will never forsake you. My love for you is constant, my timing is perfect, and my plans for your future are filled with hope. Now receive my peace, receive my strength, and receive my blessing. The best chapter of your story is not behind you, it is still ahead. If this message touched your heart, type Amen in the comments. And declare, God, I trust your perfect timing. Share this message with someone who needs hope today, and subscribe for more daily messages of faith, encouragement, and God's Word. May the Lord bless you, protect you, fill your heart with His peace, and lead you into the beautiful future He has prepared for you.